I have an issue. The issue is I don't know how to talk about my book. And what I mean by that, I don't know how to talk about my book to you, a viewer. Well, in this case, for me, it's just a phone. So I don't know how to do that. I've been told a million times that I should do it because how otherwise would you know what it is about, what I'm selling, why am I even trying to do this, and so on and so forth. The struggle I have, though, is that I don't know how to put in words what I feel about it and what it is about, and I don't know how to promote it to you, how to explain it to you, and stuff. So, this is my attempt at doing so. My book is called When Fate Gets in the Way. I don't know if you're seeing me for the first time on your For You page, or maybe you're following me already, or maybe you've seen me before. But this is the book I am trying to heavily advertise because this is my first self published novel. It is my big dream to earn money by selling my books that I constantly write, and let's just say I have big plans for everything else that comes after this one. If you've seen me before, you've seen me use a phrase that it's a cozy slow burn MM romantasy about destiny, relationships, and an adventure. But that one sentence doesn't cover it all. If I had to describe this book with one word, there is no better word than just saying life, which does not explain anything. And the reason why is because I tried to make it much more than just a love story. So it did start as a pure love story, but the great thing that I absolutely love about the way I write is that the main thing for me are always characters, their personal journeys, their personal views, the way they interact with the world around them. So when I was writing it, the world kind of got built around the characters. So when I was coming up with the world where it's all set with the three characters, three main characters of the story, it very quickly got all connected. Like the way characters interact among themselves, what are their roles in a society, how those roles influence them as people, and how they as people influence those roles. And it's like all so thought through, or at least I hope that it reads as thought through, because I tried very hard to make it realistic and alive. Because there is no greater joy for me personally than making a story that feels not just like a story, but like something alive that has depth and has much more than just like the front message that is obvious. This book is not just about love, it's, or rather, not only about romantic love, it's about friendship and the love you can feel for your friends. And then it's also about found family and how people that you're not related to sometimes can become much more important than your blood. And then it's also about your obligations and how your society, your surroundings form you as a person, your perception of reality, how your obligations control your life, or rather, if you control your obligations. And it's about choice, and it's about destiny, and it's about everything complicated and messy about everyday life, and something something that I feel everyone can relate to, or at least I can relate to. Even though it is set in a fantasy world that does not exist, and it has souls, well, you could say elves, but technically they're not elves. And like, even though it's a fantasy, it I try to make it relatable because it's very important to me, and I try to make it realistic. And it has my humor maybe not that great, but I think it has a couple of good jokes, and it has a couple of sweet moments, a couple of scary moments. It has sweetness, it has romantic scenes, it has just great relationships, bad relationships, and how all of it can be messy and complicated, and like all the beauty of life, you know? The good, the bad, the messy, the complicated, the absolute nonsense that sometimes is reality, and yeah, just everything, everything. And maybe it sounds like I'm overselling it because it sounds like, nah, probably it's too good to be true, or no way, I worked it so well and thought through everything and everything. And but come on, you won't know until you read it, and for now, the reviews that I got are overall positive. So maybe just give it a chance. I know it's a fake brick. I know. But it's a romantasy. What did you expect? So maybe if you like whatever I'm babbling about, whatever I'm saying, or maybe you like the cover, which Amazon absolutely destroyed in this specific exemplar, but like, let's just ignore it for a moment. So yeah, if you maybe like the cover, if you like an indie author, if you are from Latvia, I want to support another person from Latvia. If you want a queer romance, this is it. This is a gay love story, basically. But again, it's so much more than that. It's not just a love story. Yeah, if you're not a romance person, you might still enjoy it. And it's not that spicy. It has two spicy scenes in the whole book, and they both are in the end, and both are kind of skippable. So don't let it stop you from giving a chance to this book. If you have any questions, please ask them, because it's much easier for me to answer questions than trying to put everything I think and everything I imagine and like everything that I can come up with about this book, because I don't know what to use to convince you to read it unless you tell me if you are curious about it. Kind of, you know? I can tell you about, like, oh, it's such a sweet romance story, it's such a nice slow burn, but not everyone loves romance, and maybe you're one of those people who enjoy adventures and friendship stories, and it's still there. Yes, romance is in the front of it, but it's much more than that. And I honestly can talk about it forever, and I don't have enough words to express what I think of this book. I absolutely love it. I absolutely love the characters. They are very fast becoming the whole world, kind of for me. And I am working on a continuation, on a second and third book, and then I have also planned like fourth and fifth and so on and so forth. And the universe that I created in this first book is growing, expanding, more characters are coming in, more stories are planned, and I can tell you anything you want to know about it. So if there is any questions you have, please leave them in the comments. I would absolutely adore answering them. So yeah, this is When Fate Gets in the Way. I am Alex C, and I'll see you later.